I lost my daughter, Haley Burks, when she was 8 years old to a drunk driver. Our day started out like a normal Saturday. We woke up, got ready, headed to Tuscaloosa to see the Blue Angels at the air show. And we parked at Kentuck Park. It was a 2-mile walk. On our walk back is when we were hit by a drunk driver. I don't remember being taken to the hospital. I don't remember the days I spent in the hospital. I don't remember being told that my child didn't make it. It was the weekend of Easter. We buried Haley on Saturday, and the next day was Easter Sunday. The man that hit us, he had a hangar at the airport and was hosting an air show party. Apparently he drank too much and decided to drive. He hit me, my 3-year-old Natalie, and my 8-year-old Haley. And Haley didn't make it because he chose to drink and drive. No mother wants to bury their child, especially for something that is completely preventable. One thing that I would say is definitely don't drink and drive. Don't put yourself in the situation that could cause you to want to drink and drive. Don't let your friends drink and drive. Take their keys, keep them there. Be responsible about it.
The morning of July 20th, 2003 changed my life and my family's life forever. That was the morning that a state trooper knocked on our door to inform us that our son, William, had been killed by a drunk driver. The person that hit our son had been drinking and driving. In fact, he stated that the guy was extremely intoxicated and had no business being out on the road. He proceeded to tell us that their initial investigation showed that the guy that hit our son was traveling over 100 miles an hour. Practically every bone in his body from his neck down had been crushed. I think when we lose someone to a tragic death, it has a different impact on us than losing someone from natural causes. The things that go to through your mind, the devastation, the loss, the anger of someone taking someone from you by such a senseless act. My hope and prayer is that you all will think about the families that could be affected by a drunk driver. Think about the lives that will forever be changed when you get behind that wheel and decide to drive drunk. You could walk away, but a family could be destroyed in a matter of seconds. So please, please, for those many, many lives that have been lost and the many lives that could be saved, don't drink and drive.
Some of our very good friends invited us to come to their home and have dinner. And so we agreed to do that. So we left their home that night. We got almost home. I remember looking up and Mike saying, "Oh, what's this idiot doing?" And so I looked up and saw what he was talking about, which was a car that was flashing its lights like crazy. That car was a person who was trying to alert us. They had been behind this drunk driver, and we were hit head on. My husband was killed instantly. I was critically injured. Peyton, our older son, was also critically injured. Our little guy, thankfully, his car seat did its job. He was bumps and bruises, but no major damage. Paramedics arrived and took us to the hospital, except for Mike. He left in a hearse that night. Peyton, he suffered a severe traumatic brain injury. Things have changed for him as far as what he's capable of. What you think with a child, your goals and your hopes and dreams for that child are, what college they'll attend and what they'll what they'll do with their lives. Our focus now is getting him a high school diploma. That's something that's not a given for us anymore. We that and so many other struggles. So my plea to anyone and everyone is not to drink and drive. Please don't take that chance. Please don't risk doing to someone else what has been done to my family, to my boys. Please, please, please don't drink and drive.
June the 13th, 2011. That was the day when I got that call from a coroner. The next thing that came out of his mouth was, "Ma'am, I'm sorry. Your son is gone." The hardest words I've ever had to hear in my life. Going to identify Justin's body. I wasn't aware when I got there at this point that every one of his bones in his body had been broken. I wanted to learn more about the person who did this. Her name was Anna Gonzalez. Anna had been here in the United States for 12 years, but she was here illegally. She didn't have a driver's license, but she was drunk. Anna was actually unaware that she killed somebody. She thought she hit a dog. So she is incarcerated today. Doesn't ease my pain any, but maybe it prevents her from killing someone else. It was not her first DUI, but it was her first with a fatality. This happened to my son in 2011. I thought I could never think of anything else hurting me so bad until the next year, 2012. And my godsons here in Alabama, one was 20, one was 25, were killed by a drunk driver. So a little over a year, that made 3 sons. It made Justin and it made Najee and Jazz, all of them gone. I don't think many people think about how it affects you and your whole family. I think I would encourage people to think about that. Think about how your small action can change and devastate a family's lifestyle forever.
Renato was a sophomore junior at the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa. Each weekend he would come home to visit, but this particular week he came home early, like that Wednesday, because it was his youngest sister's graduation, 6th grade graduation. The next day, we were getting ready to go to Orlando for her graduation trip. The chaperone at the time of the group, she came to me and said, hey, you need to call home. There's, several of your family members been trying to reach you. Renata has been in a car accident. In my mind, I'm saying a car accident, it's a fender bender. And that's when she breaks down and tells me, he's gone. Okay, gone, Renata. That's like the worst time of your life as a parent. Renata was going back home where he had dropped off the children and some of his friends. And the person in question, the young man that crashed into my son, he runs the light doing 67 in a 25-mile zone. This young man, BAC, which is his blood alcohol content, was a .23. The police and the medics, they responded. My son was basically dead on arrival. But the worst part of it all is telling two little kids that are 3 and 2 years old that he is no longer here. How do you get them to understand that their dad, they will never see him again? The young man that hit him, this young man already had 4 DUIs, no insurance, no license, no nothing. If I can just touch one heart, one mind, one soul, that is not about us. Drinking and driving, it doesn't care what color you are, who you are, how old you are. It affects not just you, but it affects both sides. Not the victim, but it also affects the person that did it because they end up jail. That's money loss, attorney fees. It is, if you feel like you just gotta have that drink or you just gotta do it, designate you somebody to drive. That's just that one time you say, I know that I can make it home. You may have done it 80 times, 100 times, but it doesn't take but one time, just one. And that one time, your whole life goes up in the smoke when you could just say, hey, I can allow somebody else to drive, or I can stay home, or I can get me a room, or I can just not do it at all.